All right, I'm excited to announce our next speaker because not only is this gentleman a good friend of mine, someone who I helped bring to our former company, and then promptly said, hey, well, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. We got to go to this other place. Guys, I've been doing real estate for 25 years, okay? 25 years. I know a little bit because I've failed gloriously along the way, but when it came to sell my house, my personal house, this is the guy that I picked, right? So to me, that means a lot because I'm a really annoying seller. So I needed somebody that would take care of us. No, but seriously, guys, I am so excited for you to hear from my friend Rory Burkhart because Rory has been in the business for 20 years. He looks so young. 20 years in the business. He has built an incredible team, one of the absolute top sales teams in our state and in our local market, and just does a phenomenal job, but does it with the most incredible, impeccable reputation. Super well loved. He's got a really cool journey, so I'm excited to welcome to the stage, Rory Burkhart.
Thanks, Dave. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be here, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit of my story. Today, I want to talk about a little bit of philosophy behind what it takes to get agents on board, and the whole process and sort of the mindset, mentality, and like the psychology behind agents. I started out, like Dave mentioned, about 20 years ago with RE/MAX. And I went there initially with RE/MAX because I was most interested and compelled by their offering. Okay, so I was in pharmaceutical sales before that, and that was great sales training. I knew that I wanted to get into real estate because I read all the Kiyosaki books and everything as well. I was passionate about it, but I also didn't want to get handcuffed. And the system with RE/MAX was the reason why I went there, because they had a cap, and once you got to that 100% cap, the rest was yours. So I jumped into RE/MAX. I was rookie of the year my first year. Sold 26 houses my first year. And then each year beyond that, I kept growing the business. Within 5 years, I was the broker of record for our office and oversaw 60 or 70 agents. And once they gave me that role, they said, oh, by the way, you're also the recruiter. And it was like the needle screeching across the record player because I wanted to be in real estate. I wanted to sell houses. I wanted to help people. I did not want to be the used car salesman trying to get in contact with agents and trying to get them convinced that they should be coming over to our office. So my initial introduction into recruitment was a negative one. And that was the story that I would tell myself. And, a lot of the things that the speakers before us have said are so true in myself. I started to create this negative sort of connotation towards recruiting and just wasn't my cup of tea. So I lasted for about 2.5, 3 years as the broker there, and got tapped on the shoulder for someone over at KW. And for the first time in my career, I was 7, 8 years into my career at that point, people were asking me about my business. And I was like, dude, it's none of your business. But it was so interesting to me to see that people were really engaged and plugged into really wanting to understand my business to help me grow it. And that was the first time that I was like, wow, there's more than just staying in your own little world and growing this. So when people started tapping me on the shoulder that way and really engaging me and trying to be invested in growing my business, that's when was the first catalyst for me to make the move, and actually is what motivated me to leave RE/MAX and go over to KW. So I was at KW for a while, grew my business, and I have 5 or 6 agents on my team at any given time. We have staff, and we do anywhere from 125 to 150 deals a year. Our average price point's around $650,000. So it was good, right? Everything was great. We started learning about other different aspects of the business. Throughout that whole process, I was getting calls from different people. Dave was one of them. Coldwell Banker, we had all the different brokerages that were contacting us. Through that whole process, I was always just kind of distracted because I was focusing on my own business, and got into the mindset that I was good. I was just good where I was. I didn't really need to have a whole lot more until it started dawning on me that there's another way, right? So over the course of a few years, I was getting recruited by more than one eXp agent, and it got to the point where I started to realize that there's another way to do this, right? And Dave really taught me through this process over the last few years that it's more about investing in people, and it earns you the right to ask them about their business, right? So we do masterminds weekly, and one of the most recent masterminds we did was with Gene and while you guys were away, and it was great. Everyone's plugged in. Gene was basically saying to what's our purpose in all of our jobs, in all of our businesses. It is lead generation, and up until this point in eXp, I'd never really focused on agent attraction, and understanding the mindset through this, through what Dave has done and what Gene has done, it started to change my mindset and the voice in my head. Am I going to be a Gene Frederick? No, probably not. I would like to be, but I'm not. Not even necessary to be that, right? So the mindset starts to click a little bit when you start to realize that if you just change your business a little bit, right? You start to engage with agents that you've worked with, even if you just as a takeaway from this meeting, that you guys just try to start adapting your business in just engage with your past co-op agents. If you just simply do that, right, and you stay in contact with them, what Dave did is what got me over to eXp was just constant communication. It wasn't every week, it wasn't every month, but it was enough that I knew that he was plugged in, he cared, and he understood that it was going to take some time. Moving sucks. Moving your business sucks, especially when you have, as much as we did have. But eXp provided that sort of that avenue for us so that we could start to build our business in another way. There's another income stream here that most people don't know. And what Dave didn't know is I was committed to knowing that I was in the wrong place for probably 2 years. So when we're talking to people, the timing has to be right. And if the timing isn't right and you stop talking to them when the timing is right, you may not have the opportunity to have them in your network, in your life. So I would just challenge you guys to just to engage. And if you just compartmentalize a part of your week to your pipeline of agents, and you have to be authentic, you have to earn the right, but that will grow over time. And I think that as you continue to do that, it gives you more opportunities. I create mastermind groups in my business with other agents. They're not in our network. They're not even in our same company. That's giving me the opportunity to have that conversation with them when they're ready. And I think it's a lot less of a sales approach when you're contacting someone out of the blue and you just call and you just say, Jeff, hey, I want to, why you're calling. Jeff knows why I'm calling him, right? But if we're working on a deal together and we stay in contact after the fact, and then I engage, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee, talk about business, and I'm really engaged with you because I want to know your business ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what I think it takes in order to build a good pipeline of a downline of business. My son is an avid golfer, and he's a competitive golfer, and it's really fun to watch him. But one of the things that I always talk to him about is mindset. And, the things that you focus on expand. And we talked about that as well. But, as a golfer, what you focus on, you want to try to focus on the positive outcome, right? So if you're somewhere on a golf hole and you're thinking about where you can't be, the chances of you going to that spot is probably a lot higher than if you're focused on, where you do need to be. So he had created this truth in his head that he was not a good putter. And so over the course of the last 6 months, I've had him working through that initially, just saying, hey, I'm a good putter. I'm the best putter in the world. And, it's changed, fundamentally, it's changed his game. He's now actually a really good putter. And my point in saying that is you can create a truth in your head saying, I'm not a good recruiter. I don't like talking to people. I don't like to engage. But if you really just take a different approach and a different look at things and just really authentically engage with people, I think it can have a really profound impact on your business and in the long term. So thank you guys so much for your time. I just wanted to